Thank you, everyone. Good evening again. This is James Oluwole, and it's a great pleasure having everyone join us today. Being the 21st day of February 2026, I want to specially welcome you to the James Oluwole Leadership Masterclass. It's been a great journey, and I'm glad that I'm having a lot of us that are joining again in our different parts of the world today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your trust in the James Oluwole Leadership. Thank you for staying true, and I believe that we'll be adding value to you in one way or the other. Thank you. Today we are looking at another special topic, which is building generational prosperity through diligence, courage, and generosity. I strongly believe that this is a topic that it's continuing going to reform and re-energize us as we build on our wealth culture, our wealth mentality, understanding that in creating wealth, there is a culture, and the right culture is critical in building wealth. And in our last section, we started that looking into the right way of creating wealth. And during that section, I started by discussing on some of the cultural mindset that has held many of us down in creating financial wealth. The mindset of survivor mentality, the mindset of retirement belief, income mindset, and different kind of cultural belief, our locations, our environment, and all of that. And we went further by defining what wealth is. We went further by defining poverty. We went further by defining identity. We went further by defining wealth creation, what it means. And we went further to define virtue. And I concluded that section with a caption which says that for you to develop or for you to build wealth, you have all it takes. It's in you. You have the potential. You have the identity. You have everything. But you need to discover your purpose and your identity. And in discovering your purpose and identity, there is a virtue that is embedded in you. There is a virtue that God has given unto us, and it is through the virtue that wealth can be created. It is through the virtue of honesty, the virtue of integrity, the virtue of responsibility, the virtue of diligence, the virtue of courage, the virtue of transparency, the virtue of excellence. We have several of those virtues, and these are inbuilt, innate in us, that it's been deposited, and many of us, we are yet to discover this. And sometimes we kind of look at we focus on the secondary things. We focus on other external things rather than looking at the inward of us, that what is it in me that I can use to create wealth. And today, I want to, and the intention of our section today is to engage on three critical virtues that I strongly believe that is going to address the wealth culture, and not just addressing the wealth culture, but build a generational wealth prosperity that we desire. That if you want to have a build financial prosperity to the level that it outlasts you, to the level that beyond you, is something that it becomes a legacy. It becomes an institution that even after you are gone, your children, the generation after you, can still look back and say, yes, because of James, because of Desire, because of Isaac, because of Shadrach, because of these, we are still able to identify and enjoy the impact, the legacy, the institutions, the foundations that you have left behind. And I want to strongly believe that, and I strongly believe that the engagement today is definitely going to resonate with us, and particularly as we address again those core fundamentals. And by way of introduction, or before the introduction, I think I started by just putting down this question, that do you even have the inner capacity called virtue do you know you have the inner capacity called virtue to create wealth, to sustain wealth, and to build generational prosperity that outlives you? Because you need to know that you have that in you. You need to understand that and be aware that all that you need to become wealthy, it's already in you. all that you need to become prosperous is in us. And God has deposited that in us. But to be particularly for many of us from the African region, we are still missing that element, still not understanding that God has deposited all of this in us. And as I said in our last section, we've looked at all of this. And today we will be looking at the building generational prosperity through diligence, courage, and generosity. What does it mean to build generational prosperity? Why do you need to build generational prosperity? Why do I need to? Why is James bringing this subject at this time? Particularly if I am still struggling in my field. I have still not I've still not had the stability I need to have in my business, in my career. And now somebody is coming to say, let's build a generational wealth that outlives us. What is this guy saying? One of the things I've come to realize is that the bigger our dream, the bigger the possibility of making our dream come to reality. And the intention of bringing this topic is not just as a way of fantasy, no, but as a way of building in us that as much as we can dream it and as much as we can work towards it, it's highly possible for us to bring it to reality. And I am one person that strongly believes that as much as you desire, as much as you wish, and as much as you work within around your dream, it is possible. The capacity is in us. We have the possibility thinking capacity. We have the innate capacity in us to make it become reality. And just by way of definition, as usual of me, I like to define things, and I will start by looking at what is generational prosperity. Generational prosperity is the sustained transfer of wealth. Is the sustained transfer of wealth, wisdom, capacity, and values from one generation to the next, and which increases stability, opportunity, and impact over time. Generational prosperity, again, as I said, is a sustained transfer of wealth. Your ability to create wealth, you sustained it through, and also building wisdom, building capacity, building value, and transferring it, from one generation to another, increasing it, ensuring that it stabilizes, and providing opportunities that it impacts over time. Generational prosperity is also the discipline, creation, and structure preservation of financial, intellectual, and moral capital that empowers future generations to thrive without starting from zero. Let's be objective to ourselves. One of the challenge many of us may have had is that it's not a challenge, but it's just a reality that some of us never had the opportunity of starting our lives and having the opportunity of having our parents giving us the kind of inheritance or the kind of a stability in the aspect of finances that we can build on. As many, the best that our parents were able to give to us, as many, they've given us education, they gave us the best of life, they've inbuilt in us the right virtues, the right culture, the attitude, to become disciplined, and you use that to build yourself and to develop yourself. But if we look back to the word of God, it is the intention from God's word, and as we see from the generation of Abraham and all the rest, where the intention of God is that we should build inheritance for our children. And so in our days, we cannot, we have to build on what our parents have done. We have to move and tell ourselves that even though I never had this opportunity, in my own in the next generation that is coming after me, I have to provide them a platform that they can run with. So the question is, what are we doing today? How are you positioning yourself today? How am I positioning myself today in building generational prosperity? And how does diligence, how does courage, how does generosity create generational prosperity? How do we know? How does diligence come into this? How does courage come into this? How does Generosity comes into generational prosperity. How? What correlation do they have? What relationship do these virtues have that will yield wealth and extend to one generation to the other? Let's look at the definition of diligence, and I will take it up from there. Diligence is the quality of working with steady, careful, and persistent effort to accomplish a task or a goal. I take that again. Diligence is the quality of working with steady, careful, and persistent effort to accomplish a task or a goal. It combines hard work with a high level of attention to details and a refusal to give up when things become difficult. It is a discipline, consistent and careful application of effort towards a worthwhile goal over a sustained period of time. Now, just by understanding the definition of diligence, we will begin to see that if you are going to create sustained wealth, one of the key virtues you need, one of the key virtues I need, is the virtue of diligence. And what is diligence? In simple terms, is hard work. Now, the question I need to ask you and myself and you is that the work you are doing, the work I'm doing, if we are going to value it in terms of the weight, in terms of the value, is it worthwhile? Can it build wealth for you? Can it move you or create generational prosperity? And this is where diligence comes in. Because as much as hard work is important, and we also understand the other part, which is the smart work, we need to combine both. And we need to understand that whatever effort I am putting in building generational wealth or in building myself, I need to begin to understand what is the value of my time, what is the value of my effort, and how can I begin to consolidate all of this, making sure that I'm building it on the right perspective and I'm working on the ethical processes that I need to in building my career, in building capacity in the areas of business, in building capacity in the area of ministry, to the extent that I can become a value and a sought after person that cannot be ignored. And in terms of your value, I shared in our last section that when you're creating value is in two levels. You either create value to make an impact, or you create value where you are being paid for. And in any aspect you find yourself, and particularly for those in ministry, they don't create value for income, but as a result of the level of impact they make, as a result of the grace that God has embedded in them, as a result of the level of diligence that they have built in, they are able to create impact that people begin to celebrate and appreciate them and reward them for the value they have created. And for you or myself that we are into business and we are into career, what level of value are you creating to the extent that is going to yield you a greater level of income? And as I said again, when we are talking about value, value has to be something that is legal, something that is right, something that is ethical, something that it is as a result of the level of effort you have put in. And this is where diligence comes in. So diligence here is telling us that as much as you want to create generational prosperity, what are you doing? What am I doing? And particularly for many of us that are still youth, that we still feel that, oh, we have gotten to our comfort level. You may have been generating maybe $2,000 monthly, or $3,000 monthly, or $1,000 monthly, and you feel that, oh, I have arrived. Can you clarify and ask yourself this simple question, that will this take me or move me or sustain the kind of life I desire for myself, I desire for my family, and the kind of life that wants to, that wants to create generational prosperity? We all have the virtue of diligence in us, but how effectively are we using it to generate wealth? Diligence is not a feeling of excitement or having a talent. It's instead a commitment to your goals and dreams that refuses to quit when progress feels slow. That is what diligence is. That even when things are looking, there are challenges. Even when progress is looking slow, you are telling yourself, I'm telling myself, even though the economic in the nation you are, is not friendly. There are challenges, political unsettlement, inflations are rising within African and in different regions, but you're telling yourself that there is still more value I can add. I'm building diligence I'm building capacity on yourself to the level that you can create wealth and begin to think generational prosperity. Diligence is a combination of focus, persistence, responsibility, thoroughness, and self-control. All of these are virtue that you have in you. But how are you using it? Are you a person that is focused? Are you a person that is persistent, that even in the midst of challenges and failure, you are still ready to push on and telling yourself that, no, I am still going to move on. I am not stopping. I can still make it. How responsible are you in your field, in your business? How responsible are you? Are you a thorough person? Are you a person that is you have due diligence in everything you do? You want to make sure that you present an excellent value. One of the difference I've seen with mediocrity and excellence is thoroughness. Many people are not thorough. Many people lack self-control, and these are virtues that we all have in us that we can use in building and sustaining wealth. How does diligence build generational prosperity? Diligence enables you to stay focused in pursuit of your vision to create and sustain wealth. That is one thing it does. With diligence, you are able to stay focused and ask yourself. In the last teaching, I kind of asked us that, do you even know your wealth value? Do you even know how much you need to make you financially independent? Do you even know your annual expenses? Because not until you're able to define all of this, and I'm trying not to go, take us back to the last teaching, but I'm going to encourage as many that are joining. If this is your first time, please listen to my last podcast on building the right culture for wealth. I kind of detailed all of this, and today's section is building on that. So diligence enables you to stay focused in the pursuit of your vision, because it is in your vision, it is in your purpose, it is in your goals, it is in your dreams that you can create and sustain wealth. But if you have a shallow vision, if you have a shallow dream, and you are not thinking big, and you are failing to build capacity, you are failing to build diligence, then this might be a challenge. Diligence enables you to maintain financial discipline through budgeting, savings, investment, and delayed gratification. How diligent are you? How diligent am I in building financial discipline? Do you even have the understanding of your finances? How disciplined are you in your budgeting? How disciplined are you in savings? Because until you are a person of diligence, as much as you are accumulating resources, you might just be surprised that the money is not there. Sometimes many of us, we are playing that, oh God, make me a millionaire. Many people have been wishing that. But if you are just humble enough and you go and check your bank statement over the last 2 years, many of us, you have been a millionaire the last 2 years, but you may not have known. Why? Because you were thinking that becoming a millionaire is until the millions hit into your account, but that is not it. But when you go back to the last 2 years and check the level of expenses you have made and you put them together, you may be amazed that it's beyond millions. So sometimes the prayer we are praying might not just be the right prayer because God has answered them already. Now, this is where the aspect of diligence comes. Are you counting your costs? Are you counting your income? And are you asking yourself, what next can I do? Where do I need to invest myself? Where do I need to grow myself? Where do I need to build capacity to position myself in building wealth that can, create generational prosperity? Diligence enables you to increase your capacity and reposition yourself to as a value creator and a contributor. Are you a value creator? Are you a value contribution? And there are many people that all they do is absorbing. You are learning, you are building your capacity, you are attending all the seminars, you are paying and investing so much to grow yourself. But as much as all of that, you are having all of this embedded knowledge in you. Are you disseminating them? Are you finding the right platform that you can share them to increase and to contribute to value? Many are missing in these areas. And as I keep saying that, even when you go into business, the purpose of business should not be for profit making or for survival basis. The purpose of business is for you to find a problem within the market, for you to find a problem within with customers. For you as a career person in that organization, you are there not just because of the salary, but you are looking at what problem can you help to solve here. And once you have this mindset in you that you are there as a problem solver, as a solution provider, that begins to help you to build on the kind of values, on the kind of capacity that you need to build on yourself to position you right to provide that solution within the industry, within the organization. Diligence makes you thorough and transparent in business dealing. Diligence makes you to be disciplined. Many people are not thorough to the level that they have wasted a lot of money. Many people have gone into quick poison schemes. I told you all that with the help of God, I'm just being careful and just being careful with myself. I have never fallen into a poison scheme because I know what is quick money, and I know money or investment that you need to count it and do a calculated risk before you go into it. But it requires diligence. How diligent are you? How diligent am I? So you need diligence to be in business dealings. You need diligence in positioning yourself as a brand person within the market, enhancing your credibility and reputation, which is the key element for your stakeholders, because it is through diligence that you are able to become a transparent person that build your credibility and reputation. How diligent are you? How diligent am I? Diligence makes relationship last and create future business collaboration and leverage. With diligence, people respect you, people value you, people want to relate with you. People want to stay around you because they know that you're a serious-minded person, and that increases your relationship. That increases your network. That increases people that want to do business with you, want to engage you. And as I keep saying, that relationships are doors of opportunities. And so by having the virtue of diligence and working on it, it opens up opportunities that you cannot imagine. But many are abusing relationships today because they are lazy. Many are abusing relationships today because they are not willing to take responsibility. Many are abusing relationships today because they lack focus. Many are abusing relationships today because they give up easily. They tell you I cannot, and they tell you all of their problems, not looking at how I'm building a mindset of gratitude, that no, I am grateful for where I am, but there is a next place for me to go. So one virtue that you must build on is diligence, and diligence is going to help you in building wealth and building generational prosperity that can outlive you. With diligence, you can extend it even to your children and to the systems, to the organization that you are building. If you look at examples like Bishop David Oyedepo, and you look at all of these ministries and other organizations, you will see that they have developed a culture in those organizations that even after they are gone, the systems have been built to the level that it can outlive and it can continue to create impact. The lifestyle of someone called Jack Welch, one of the greatest CEO of General Electricals, from 2000, from the year 2001 thereabout, from the year 1982 thereabout to the year 2001 as the CEO of General Electrical. He changed the narratives. He changed the culture until tomorrow. People are making reference of him, the impact he has made, and he is one of those that completely revamped the aviation industry through the General Electrical activities that they do under that. Now, I'm just using all of this to tell us that the virtue of diligence has a long way to impact you, has a long way, but are you building on it? And it's important that we work on that. The second virtue we'll look at is the virtue of courage. How does courage helps you in building generational prosperity? Courage, by definition, is the discipline and willingness to act rightly and decisively in the face of fear, in the face of uncertainty, in the face of risks and or opposition. That's what courage is. Courage is a discipline and the willingness to act rightly even when there are challenges. And the virtue of courage is another virtue that can help you build generational prosperity. Courage is not the absence of fear, and I know many of you know this, but it is a movement despite fear. Courage is saying yes even while fears exist. Courage is telling you that no, you can still do it. We can still make it. What is stopping me? Even though I have experienced a challenge, I am not willing to stop. I am ready to push. Courage is telling you that, oh, you have achieved a revenue of 2 million. Let's move again. We can make it 3 million. And doing it the right way, the ethical way, opening up your horizons, taking what, within you, what else can we do to grow wealth the right way? What else can where else can we add value? Because as much as you are planning to grow wealth or to create wealth, the intention should not be around wealth, but rather increasing your value. People like Elon Musk, people like the Dangotes, people like Anthony Elumelu, their thinking is not just in creating wealth, but how much they can add value within their society. And as much as they are increasing in value creation, definitely the world will appreciate them back by patronizing their product, by patronizing their goods, by patronizing what they do. So every day in their lives, they are thinking, what else can they do? And they are breaking every limitation that is holding them. But you require courage. Courage is the presence of mind to choose to take action and move forward in the midst of challenges. Courage is the moral strength to do what is right despite social opposition, shame, or personal loss. Courage is the willingness to challenge your own beliefs and explore new uncomfortable ideas. That's what courage is. Are you ready to make that, to take courage or to implement the courage towards challenging your own beliefs, towards challenging what has been holding you down, towards telling yourself that, oh, I am getting tired, I'm getting frustrated? No, but courage is telling you that, okay, some people have gone this way, it has not worked, but James, you can do it. James, if you press on, you can do it. Courage is telling you to challenge your belief. Courage is telling you that to explore uncomfortable ideas. Courage is telling you that to do what is unthinkable. Courage is telling you that you can break limits, you can break grounds if you are willing to do it. Courage is telling you that you have the capacity in you because you carry the image of a God, the mindset of God, and everything is in you that nothing can stop you except to stop yourself. There is nothing limiting you. There is nothing limiting us except you stop yourself. But we have many people that they rather look to other aspects. They rather look and share their concerns. Oh, is my parent? Is the government? Is the society? This guy will not understand. If you understood where I grew up from, that's my problem. No. Some people are still dreaming and wishing that their solution is in Portugal. Some people are still dreaming and thinking that, oh, when I get to UK, God has answered my prayer. Some are saying, oh, all I just need is to get to Canada. No. All you needed is courage. All you needed is courage. What courage would help you break that fear? Courage would help you break that limitation that has held you. Are you a courageous person? Do you have courage in you? So you can understand that with courage, you can do the unimaginable. I keep telling people that if you're starting a business, if you're starting anything, capital is not the problem. The first problem is courage. If you can deal with courage, I tell you the truth, over 50% of your problem is addressed. Courage is facing your inner vulnerabilities and being able to state it objectively. Courage is telling yourself that, look, James, you are weak in this area. If you want to become the best in this, then go and learn, go and build skills. That's what courage is, telling yourself the truth. I kept saying also that many people, we are deceptive. And you can deceive anybody, but you can't deceive yourself. Are you truthful to yourself? Which areas do you need to build capacity? Which areas do you need to build momentum on yourself? Which areas do you need to allow courage to enable you to express yourself beyond what you're thinking around? What has been the limitation? What is holding you down? And here I put together about 4 essential steps that courage would help in building generational prosperity. 4 essential steps. And today we are going to look at that, and that would be the end of our section for today, because I just want to keep it within an hour if possible, and we'll take questions. Now, the number 1 essential steps in building generational prosperity, or why courage is essential, is that courage creates and sustain wealth. How? It takes courage to break financial limitations. It takes courage to avoid a scarcity mindset. And it takes courage to inform yourself that you can no longer live a dependent lifestyle. It takes courage. It takes courage to break financial limitation. God can't do it for you because He has given you every reason, every capacity. It's already in you. As I shared in our last podcast, that God has given us the power to create wealth. So the power is in you. Crying to God, calling upon Him. He's just looking at you and He's feeling very merciful for you, that this person is still, he or she is still dwelling in ignorance. All you need is courage. All you need is diligence. All you need is these virtues, integrity. All you need is the virtue of generosity, which we're going to be looking at. How can generosity, how can giving, a giving lifestyle, makes you, or build generational prosperity? You're going to learn all of these. So courage takes courage to break financial limitation. Are you using the virtue of courage to break the financial limitations of your life? Courage tells you to start the business even when you have limited capital and you don't have all the answers. That's what courage does. Courage tells you move on. Courage tells you to find the right community of people, such as the James Oluwole Leadership Platform, that will stretch you, that would push you, that will encourage you in taking the right steps towards becoming the best version of yourself. Courage expands your capacity to overcome your fears in entering an unfamiliar market. Courage expands your capacity in taking calculated risks to make that investment. Courage expands your capacity in buying shares and stocks and asking for promotion in your organization when you know you have the competence and the capabilities to perform excellently. Do you know some people, they know that they are the best in that organization, but they are scared to even confront the owners of the organization and say, look, I am adding value to this organization. What is your plan for me? What is my next goal? What is your next goal for me? Where do you see me? It takes courage. You know that you bring value to this organization. You know that your effort is what is bringing in the money. You know. But they have the salary they have placed you 3 years ago. That is what they are still earning. You are still taking. And rather than you confronting them, you are praying to God that God touch my boss. And God is saying, I have given you the courage. Just go and ask. The authority is in you because you are already an excellent person. You already have all it takes, and you understand that your effort is what is bringing in income to this organization. But do you have the courage to ask? Many people don't have it. So are you seeing how self-limitation is affecting your ability to create wealth? Self-limitation is affecting you because many are having this courage challenge. Many are scared of even entering on familiar market. They tell you, no, I am doing a cement production business. I don't want to start producing blocks, or I don't want to move into something else. And the market is calling for that, because your ability to understand the market is to know what problems does the market require that you need to solve. What is stopping you from entering that market? What is stopping you from taking that calculated risk in the investment you need to make? What is stopping you? Many people lack the courage to even find the right people that can guide them on the right investment decisions to make. They want to do everything by themselves. Oh, I don't want to share my things. I don't want to let people know that I'm doing this. It's because you lack courage, and that is why you've continuously fall victims. You've continuously become a victim of different fraudulent activities because you have failed to develop the courage to even trust people that can help you. What is stopping you? You need courage to create and sustain wealth. Courage moves you from a state of security and safety to growth. That's what courage does again. Courage is telling yourself that there is more land to conquer. There is more land to conquer. There is more things to do. James, you are not enough. James, you are not enough. There is still more to do. There is still more in you that you can be an impact to your world. There is still more value to add. And the more your value grows, the more, in creating impact, the more the opportunities are that your income level will increase, because it's based on the problems you solve. It's based on the problem you solve. So do you understand that you need to begin to find growth levels and growth areas that you need to develop yourself and grow into, rather than staying in your security? Oh, I'm just fine. I am here in the city of Maputo and I don't want to move to any other place. Let me just remain here. Oh, I'm here in Tamale, Ghana. I just want to remain there. I cannot stretch the business. I cannot stretch myself. I'm not even ready to relocate to another country. I'm not ready to relocate to another nation. I just want to be here. Because many are within a state of security and safety that has held them down. Courage moves you from a state of comfort to expansion, and from stability to opportunities. Courage is built when quitting is not an option. Courage is built when quitting is not an option. If there is one thing I'm going to encourage you, and please, this has nothing to do, I know I have a lot of my elder ones here, my parents, my mommies, my daddy, my uncles, my younger ones. Every one of us, just ask yourself, what else can you do in adding value? And there is always room for that. As much as you ask those questions and you are ready to build on courage, there is still value that you can add. There is still solution that you can provide. There is still something that you can do that will create value. The second essential thing that courage does is that courage enables long-term investment. Courage enables you to delay gratification and invest more in growing yourself for the right opportunities in career, ministry, and business. Let me be honest with us that if you want to build sustainable and financial wealth, is the based on the capacity of who you are. Is based on the level of investment and growth you are willing to invest in yourself. But do you even have the courage to delay gratification, to delay that expenses, to delay that fun life, to delay that buying of the vehicle or something else that will give you the luxury that you desire, or the need or the one that you desire, so that you can focus on the things that matter most in that ministry, in that business, in your career, and position you for greatness. Are you willing to take that risk? We need more courage to manage family obligations. Many times family obligations overwhelms us, and you require courage to learn how to say no. We are going to come to that also. Courage, you need more of courage to manage social expectations. You need more of courage in managing community dependence, that people see you that, oh, because there is little, you are becoming financially buoyant and everybody brings their problem to you. You need courage to have and the discernment to know when to help and when to say no. And you need the courage to plan that as much as I'm providing short-term support, long-term investments are key. I was in Redeemed Christian Church last Saturday and we were discussing on breaking limits and on relationship. And a guy asked a question. And the question, was similar to this. And he said that, look, I have a business. This business is still thriving. I'm yet to marry. And this business, I'm making money currently, but the whole of my family is dependent on that business. What should I do? And I told him, I said, look, with all objectivity, and I've been in your situation some times ago where I was doing some investment in the city of Kaduna, and I had to hold on, inform many around me that, look, at this time, I cannot provide any support until I complete this project. And after that project was completed, the income and the revenue from that address all of the need. And I told him that, look, you need to set a boundary of whatever within your business money in terms of the income that you can use to meet family needs. Yes, we know that is our responsibility. We cannot be ignorant of that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't help, but all I'm saying is that we still need to take responsibility and understand that as much as this is important for us and the need that we have to do this, we also have the key responsibilities to make sure that we are doing all that is required of us in achieving all that is needed in that area. So courage is critical. Courage enables you to find financial and investment mentors who can guide you to the right kind of investment to make towards wealth creation. However great your savings and investment plans are, if you lack a structure and the right systems, you may never implement them. Do you have the mentors that can help you, that can guide you, that can guide you on your financial decisions that you need to make? Do you have mentors? Do you have people that will guide you on the right activities, on the right step to take in that decision area? Do you have a mentor? You need courage to find a mentor. You need a courage. Do you have one? It takes courage to say no to a pressure-filled lifestyle and avoid relationships and community of people that are going nowhere but still want to keep you within their circle of mediocrity. It requires courage for you to say, no, I cannot continue with this kind of lifestyle. I can't continue with this kind of relationship. This relationship will not help me. It's not going to take me far. So I need to start thinking about how best can I work on myself. You need courage. Do you have it? To discern and to know who are the people you need to build relationship on and who are the people you need to avoid relating with. It requires courage. It takes courage to separate yourself from such kind of people. Do you have the courage? Number 3, courage protects ethical standards. With courage, it takes courage to choose the path of integrity in all you do. So as I said, courage protects ethical standards. It takes courage to choose the path of integrity in all you do, knowing that even when there are loopholes that could allow misappropriation of funds in your organization for personal gain, you choose to say no. How ethical are you? How ethical am I? Do you have the courage to say no? Because when we say, oh, building generational prosperity does not mean every opportunity that comes your way, let's go. No. It requires courage to say no to such opportunities because they will never help you. Many of us who've been in the career world and we've been tempted. We've seen opportunities, but we choose to tell ourselves that no, this is not the path if we are going to sustain wealth, if we are going to build credibility, because the name James Oluwole is bigger than anything in this life for me. And so if I need to protect this name, then I need to understand that I cannot find myself into any financial misappropriation, even though I'm a finance person, even though I'm an operations person, even though I deal in procurement. I need to understand and draw boundaries. I need to set boundaries, and this has helped me. I'm telling you the truth, that one of the challenges you see that many people are having challenges in career and business today is because they lack credibility. How credible are you? But it requires courage, because those temptations would come. Those challenges would come. There is never a shortcut to wealth. A good name is greater than $1 million. Are you willing to say no? You need courage. So if you're building generational prosperity, there is a virtue in you that would help you. And that virtue is courage. So are you now understanding why courage is important as a virtue in building wealth? But do you have it? And yes, you do. Are you building on it? Are you giving every effort and finding the right relationships with it and the right circles that would help you build on courage so that you can address temptations when they come? The fact that others are doing it and getting away with it is not a justification for you to follow the path. It takes courage to walk away from unethical deals. It takes courage to walk away from an ethical business that will dent your credibility. Do you have that? Are you willing to go through that route? Do you have the courage to walk away when it's tough? Listen, friends, credibility and reputational capital would always outlive financial capital. No matter the level of financial capital you may generate or you may earn, your name, your credibility, your reputation would forever outlive it. And if you're a Nigerian and you understand, you know Mrs. Ibokun Awoshika, if there is one thing that has helped her and has accelerated her in her growth level in career and ministry, is because she's a woman of integrity. And that was what gave her the opportunity to becoming the board chairman of First Bank, holding them. And even at that position, she still withstood pressure. Standing on integrity. Can integrity take you far? Do you have the courage at that level, or you are just giving in? Oh, they said I should sign it. That's why I signed it. No. If you lack moral courage, your prosperity becomes fragile and you can never find peace. That's the truth. No matter the accumulation of wealth you may have, if there is no courage to say no and you are involving in unethical dealings, I'm sorry, it's going to be a challenge. The number 4 is that it takes courage to say no. No to what? Saying yes to everything is a sign of weakness, friends. Saying yes to everything, you need courage to say no. And this is one of the major problems that is affecting a lot of people. Many people, emotion has held us down. Emotion. And I was telling someone that as much as, if you look at even from the scripture, it says that love your neighbor, the law of love is that you must love your God first. Then you must love your neighbor as yourself. And the way Jesus does that, he classifies neighbors as every other person, including your family. They are all neighbors. And the rule there is that you cannot love them beyond yourself. You should love them as best as you love yourself. So the level of love is at the level of love you love yourself. But one of the challenge people are having today is that they are loving people much more than themselves, to the level that they are giving support. They are giving a lot at the detriment of their own self, hurting yourself to satisfy other people. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong, but particularly when you're doing it the wrong way. And records have shown that many times Many of the people that we have given all for, they have still no gratitude. They fail to appreciate it. And I know that many of you can share that experience also. Now, is helping people right? Yes. But there are times that you need to learn to say no. And just learning to say no will help you in building generational prosperity. Limiting our abilities to build generational wealth, as I said. And as soon as you gain some financial status, you take on everyone's problem. And society is also unfair to you because they expect you to do all of that. Saying no may be wrong when it comes from a selfish mindset. Now, that's the part that I would encourage. So when we say it takes courage to say no, I'm not saying you should say no when it's from a selfish motive, when it's from a fear of losing money, or when it comes from a platform of greed. But saying no can also be the right way. Saying no when it's right. And this is it when it protects long-term sustainability, when it preserves capital for greater impact, when it prevents dependency culture, when it aligns with stewardship and principles. The answer is that, are you willing to say no when it is the right time to say no? Are you willing to say no so that you can protect your long-term sustainability over your growth, over your finance, over your relationships? Are you willing to say no to what is holding you down? Are you willing to say no by preserving capital for greater impact, rather than using all of your resources to meet current needs, but rather building on assets? Are you willing to say no that will help you prevent dependency culture? Are you willing to say no that will enable you to align stewardship principles, that as much as you want to be of a support and of a need to people and of a help to people, you must understand that there is a limit and there are boundaries, because you are accountable with the resources that God has given to you. And if you are going to build generational prosperity, you need the courage to say no. Remember that courage is not refusing to give, but courage is given wisely. That's what we are ending with today. That as much as you need courage, you need to build the right way of giving. You need to build the right way of knowing that it is not every demand that you can answer to. At this point, I would want to pause and we take questions. The intention is for us to have this section within an hour, and we're already 5 to 10 minutes there about to 9 p.m. Mozambique time. I believe I've added value to you today. Please, let's take question, and you can drop your question on the chat box, or you can ask your question. You can unmute yourself to ask question. Thank you. So in our next section, which is next month, I'm going to be dealing on the third part, and it's a detailed engagement on generosity. I'm going to encourage everyone, don't miss that section. I'm going to be bringing a different aspect of generosity, why giving can help you to build prosperity. The more that you give, and it's more like, no, James, why will my giving help me to build generosity? But the answer is yes. You have to give, but there's something also that we call strategic giving. And next section, I'm going to be dealing more deeper on generosity, so that we can have a balanced perspective that your giving is critical, but you must develop strategic giving. So I just want to thank everyone again for your time. And just understanding that on the wealth concept that we are bringing in, I know many of you're trying to understand that why is James going through this route? And as I said, my intention is to continue to build on the fundamentals. And I have come to realize that the foundational level in terms of understanding the virtue we have and building on it is a major criteria, is a major step. Sometimes we look at the external factors, but rather than looking at the inward factors. And this is the reason I'm bringing, I'm discussing today on diligence. I discussed today on courage. And I want to believe that the courage, diligence have helped you. You kind of have a better perspective of how they can help you build well. There are many of us that there is so much you have in you, but the courage to even put down the tender, to ask, you don't have that. And I want to borrow you my courage today to say, look, it's high time you just need to explore, push yourself out. I keep telling people that this podcast, we started it, I just started. And somehow we get moving in, improving on daily basis. If I'm waiting for all the resources and all the things I needed to start, I may not have started. So please, if you want to build generational prosperity, build on diligence. What are the growth areas that you need to develop on yourself? And build courage in understanding when to say yes, in understanding when to say no, in understanding when you need to take the right steps. Thank you for your time today, and let's stay connected. The James Oluwole Leadership is also providing a coaching and training programs. If you're interested, just log on, reach out to us. We are happy to provide a lot of service to you in whatever form. Currently, we are doing a 6-month program, which is the Elevation Growth Masterclass, and it started in January. It's been a worthwhile experience for those that are part of it. And I'm going to encourage you that you can start planning and budgeting yourself. One of the courage you need to have this year is investment in yourself. And I will need to be objective to you all that as much as the free podcasts are great, as much as all of these, your ability to pay for value is critical. Many of these things I am doing, I'm paying value for it. It costs me a lot. And I'm just telling you that the best way you can be a person of value is to pay for value. And I know that many of you have the intention. So start saving. We're going to be coming, because the more value we want to create is developing different platforms. And for those at the Elevation Growth Masterclass, they can tell you we are already at month 2. And many of them, their value, they have already generated beyond what they paid for. The value that we have provided every week, every day, I'm getting testimonials from people and saying, wow, I can imagine what if I've not been on this platform, how it would have been. So this is what being in a circle of a growth mindset can give to you. A circle where we are intentional. The models we are providing there are not for public sharing, as I said, and that's why you are not seeing us having any of those models shared on the social media platform. So my encouragement is that start budgeting. We're going to come because I still want to add value to you, and I want to move you to the next level. My desire to everyone on this platform is that your income level should increase. And now you may ask again, why is this guy talking about finance? Because you see, many of us from Africa and from any part of the world you are, the more I know that you have the intention to be a blessing to others, and this is why you have to keep growing yourself. And the money you are to make is never for you only. If all that you're thinking is to have this wealth and all is for you, you are not the one I'm speaking to, and you should not be on this platform, because our intention is to grow, to harness and to create wealth so that we can impact our world. We want to change the world. We want to help communities. We want to help institutions. We want to help ministries. We want to create value to people's life. We want to sponsor a lot of programs and activities, and it needs money to get that done. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your trust on the James Oluwole Leadership, and thank you. Please have a great week ahead.